To the grace of Diesse, consciousness, a state of awakening, a vision, and a power, an action. At dawn on May 4th, 2025, a great sovereign soul, Diesse Ghis, chose to leave the world of form, peacefully and in conscience. This wise passage is intended as one more opportunity to pass on to us the ultimate torch, the only solution. I remember who I am. Unparalleled determination and courage until the very end. Mission accomplished. Dear soul friend. Indeed, Ghis was driven by her vocation to give each of us the key to our true identity. She invited us to act as sovereign beings by reclaiming the power and the responsibility of governing ourselves. As she often liked to remind us, life is a comedy in which we are both actor and creator. Thousands of people all over the world acknowledge her by saying, "Thank you for what you do." Ghis preferred action over praise. Her response has always been, "And you? When do you start?" So go for it. It's up to you to play your part in your own way. Moreover, the Personal Creatia's motto in 2025 supports us on this path. From absolute faith in my individual sovereignty, I act. Infinite thanks, Diesse Ghis, for taking action and for all the inspiration and precious teachings you have left behind throughout your journey. Please take note that in the coming months, a celebration of recognition will be held differently, alla persona gratia, to the grace of Diesse, the Personal Creatia team. Personally, I extend my infinite love and gratitude to Diesse Ghis. She was my teacher and my guide. She was always present for me, especially during my most challenging moments in jail. I evolved to my present level of consciousness because of Diesse Ghis. Ghis died to death on May 4th, 2025. That's how she would have said it, because for Ghis, death does not exist. There is only life, being, the all. She simply left her earthly vehicle and returned to what she has always been, the creative spirit of the universe, free, sovereign, timeless. I met Ghis at a conference. I was struck by the clarity of her teachings. It was pure logic, and it resonated so much with me. She awakened in me that part of me that already knew, the one that was asleep and had forgotten who she was. And if there is one thing I'm absolutely certain of, it is that she would not want to be transformed into an idol or a figure to be venerated. She would tell us, return to your sovereignty. Stop obeying external authorities. Everything is already within you. For her, there was only ever one way out of the Truman Show, back within. The only true power, the only true authority is your soul. You just have to give it free rein, without expectation of results. Ghis obeyed no state, no external authority. She was neither victim, nor culprit, nor savior. She was creatrix, and she remembered who she was. She didn't leave, she just changed frequency. I can still hear her laughter, so uplifting and contagious. Thank you, Ghis. Thank you for daring to be, even when it was disturbing, even when people wanted to turn off your light. Thank you for sowing seeds of sovereignty in a field of docile sheep. Thank you for making me an accomplice in your work. And I promise I will continue to spread joy as much as I can and become the sovereign mare. You have finally become a wing mare. You can fly. To the grace of Diesse. Booklet number 1 of Personal Creation, Evolution Towards the New Species. This booklet was published in French and English in 2008 and in Spanish in 2009. Diesse Ghis updated this booklet in 2020 in French and in 2021 in English. I received the English booklet in 2025, and therefore I now only need to translate this booklet into Spanish. Please share this information with awakening individuals. Personal Creation, booklet number 1, Evolution Toward the New Species, pages 40 and 41. Consciousness, a state of awakening, a vision, and a power, an action. The word consciousness has become quite fashionable nowadays. Its meaning varies according to the needs of its user. Most people believe that being conscious is being able to think straight. To them, mind and consciousness are similar. To grow in consciousness, I need to think very hard. If my brain cells heat up, it's a good sign. I think, therefore I am. Strangely, the creators of atomic bombs and guided missiles are very bright thinkers, but they are not very conscious of their actions. Others compare consciousness to morality and fall into the trap of right and wrong. Each religious or legal system has its own definition of what is moral or immoral. Who should I believe? To answer, I need the true definition of consciousness, because it is indeed an evolution of consciousness that we're talking about. Consciousness is my level of awareness concerning the reality inherent in all that exists. Diesse, unlimited creatrix. The more I elevate my state of consciousness, the more awake I become to the real world. Reality is what is for real. It is a perception without lies of all that is visible and invisible, past, present, and future. Since I rely on what my 5 very limited senses provide me with, it is difficult for me to differentiate what is real from what is not. The machines I have invented are a poor extension of my own senses and are themselves very limited. The reality is that there is one spirit, creatrix of everything. However, despite its creative unity, spirit manifests herself in an infinite number of vibratory rates and varied forms. All this diversity constitutes the world of illusion that I create more or less falsely, depending on my level of consciousness. It is also what makes me say one truth and as many perceptions of the truth as there are individuals. Moreover, spirit is inherent within all creation, hence the union and peace of the creatrix and her creature. On the contrary, religions, spiritualities, orders, etc., maintain a separation between the Creator, Father, and his creature, Son. This results in an irreconcilable division between the two, generating fear, conflict, and death. As for the name Diesse, I plus goddess plus A, it designates the creative spirit within us and reminds us that we are both at the same time, the creative spirit and the created matter. There is only one substance, only one body in the world, and a power and action. Consciousness is also a power, the power to change matter. It determines evolution, not external conditions. The latter can only promote the need for the evolutionary leap in consciousness, which, in turn, will change matter. The process of formation of matter is as follows: level of consciousness, rhythm of space, time, shape of matter. It's the level of consciousness which determines the vibrational rhythm of space and time, which in turn determines the shape of matter. This ultimate equation allows us to draw the following conclusions. 1. Precedence over the inner over the outer, from spirit to matter. Therefore, all change made to a system is a pipe dream. For example, substituting or reforming a government does not change anything. Only the awareness that true governance is individual and internal will generate order. 2. The true role of energy on matter. Everything is vibration, and highest vibrational frequencies take precedence over lower ones. From this comes the popular force of the mind over matter, the role of thought that create, especially in the fields of science and spirituality. It is also the support of group meditations, even planetary meditations. These techniques consist of imposing the mental human will on matter to raise its frequency. They are artificial and short-lived because they come from the outside and not from the soul. 3. The level of consciousness determines the vibrational rhythm. Therefore, the only real power is found in individual consciousness, inside oneself, in the soul. Hence, the importance of evolving in consciousness. And that is sustainable. We can't lose it. The ultimate equation of the formation of matter is of paramount importance because it explains the generalized corruption that reigns on the planet. Either we go in the right direction, priority of spirit, and we live in order, or we go against the odds, priority of matter, and we survive in disorder. The universal decomposition that we are experiencing proves this. Infinite love. From millennium slavery to individual sovereignty. In the Orient, in the 20th century, Sri Aurobindo and the Mother discovered and anchored truth consciousness, the supramental consciousness in the earthly atmosphere. Once well anchored, the new consciousness was ready to move on to the next stage, its popularization and propagation. In the West, in the 21st century emerged personal creatia, the power of the sovereign person to govern oneself. Sri Aurobindo's integral yoga goes beyond individual liberation and undertakes collective transformation on earth. After the death of Sri Aurobindo, the Mother continued their work, and on February 29, 1956, the supramental consciousness was definitely anchored on earth. One single and sincere look at the present world situation is enough to convince anybody that it has reached a point of no return. Humanity is heading towards a monumental dead end. Let's stop repeating our obsolete ways, which can only bring more suffering. Personocratia continues the diffusion of truth consciousness in the West. Substantial unity replaces the guru-disciple separation. Let us all spread the contagion of love. I'm out of the game. Like Truman in The Truman Show, I have taken my bow and left a world of illusion, this computer simulation to which I have given authority to manage my life. I leave the theater, where I have played time and time again the roles of disciple, daughter, parent, dentist, entrepreneur, citizen. Today, I devote myself fully and without limits to spreading individual sovereignty, the truth consciousness that I have been experiencing since 2002. Infinite love.